So I have to tell you, I'm so grateful this morning because, very thankful, because yesterday, or actually Friday night, I suddenly became very ill. Don't know what it was, but it was awful. And like, it felt like my body went through a meat grinder and my head was in a press, and just very sick. But I had a wedding on Saturday, so, I have to do the wedding. So, I believe in lying. So, I'm joking. But I don't want to depress somebody's wedding because I'm not feeling well. So I was trying to act happy, but to be honest, I'm really just in pain. And I think they're really a sweet couple. So I wanted them to have a good wedding, but I was just, every part of my body just hurt. And I went down for the genuflection, at the Eucharistic prayer, and honest to God, I started to pass out. And I just kind of laughed to myself thinking, what would it be like to be at a wedding where the priest passes out? So then, I just went home, went to bed, and I woke up and just very happy because clearly I was over it, no more pain, just woke up thankful. But here's the thing, I wasn't thankful because suddenly I'm well. I know it's a nice thing to be thankful for, but I think things like that are really important in life because it teaches you just how fragile life is. Just in one instant, you can be incredibly sick, and you have no power to overcome it just on your own. I know this sounds strange, but things like that are really important because life is very fragile. And you think when you're young, you think you're powerful. And I'm actually pretty healthy. I rarely, if ever, take a day off out of sickness. So, admittedly, I've been pretty lucky there. But when you're young, you think your power is because you're strong, or you're healthy, or you think that you're smart. You're not that smart. But when you get older, you realize all that is illusion. Position, health, wealth. You can't think yourself out of a problem. We are all, and I'm serious on this, we're all one medical diagnosis away from being dropped to our knees. And what I'm thankful for is to remember that if your sense of power is connected to something about yourself, your health or your intelligence or your wealth, that's all illusion. You want your real strength to be tied to something far greater than just yourself. And that's the point of today's readings. With prayer, you can be connected to the power of God, and that gives you this stubborn hope that will pull you through anything. Prayer is supposed to make you this force of perseverance. And so, you discover that, hopefully, the older you get. That's why you want to pray over a lifetime. Or Deacon Ralph, his mother, years ago, she was visiting, and after daily mass, I was talking to her. It was her birthday. She was I think 92, like Kevin's age, and she's kind of cute. And so after mass, I was wishing her a happy birthday, and she says, "Father, do you want me to tell you what the secret of life is?" Take anything I can get. So, sure. And she says, "Well, life is one dang problem after another." She didn't use the word dang, but those Montanans use a harsher language than us gentle Idahoanians. And she just laughed. Life is one dang problem after another. And she's right. Life is just negotiating a series of problems. And at 92, what she found out is that with a life of prayer, you gain this momentum to really guide you through all the problems of life. Prayer is this force that can help you negotiate all the problems of life. Prayer gives you this power, momentum. All the things in life can really easily overwhelm us. One medical diagnosis. But with prayer, we become a persistent community. And so the first reading's very odd. But Soul, wherever you are, oh, there you are. That was her first time reading at Mass. She did a good job, so great job. But the point of the first reading is that it's a strange story in Exodus where the people are being attacked and they're in this battle. And as long as Moses' arms are raised up, and this is prayer, as long as Moses is praying, then the battle will be won. And so, like, if you're wondering, this is not the symbol of prayer. This is a symbol of obedience. This is a symbol of prayer. Every time the priest is talking to God, my hands are raised. So Moses, when he's praying, the battle will be won. Except he gets tired. So her and Aaron come and they hold up his hands. And they sit him on a rock. So for the early church, they used to say, prayer will overcome us in battle. Prayer will sustain us in the battles of life. And the rock is Christ, where we want to really rest. And nobody can do it alone. Like, one illness can take me out. It can't take a whole community out that prays together. Together, one community will survive the battles of life. That's the meaning. And I like that. Like, when we pray the Lord's Prayer, you guys all hold each other's hands. I don't do that with a deacon, but he has sticky hands or something. When you guys are holding hands, I kind of think it's like this Exodus image of Aaron and her, where the community together with prayer will become this force that conquers every battle. Same in the gospel reading, except this time the gospel reading is about prayer. And remember, Jesus in the Gospel of Luke, he ties all his themes together in groups. So last week, this week, next week, it's going to be on prayer. And the little old lady, the widow, she symbolizes somebody in prayer. And she has nothing. She has no money, she's elderly and old. What can she do? And the judge, he's powerful. He has position and power and wealth. He has the law on his side. And he has everything. But the little old lady has prayer. And she keeps coming back again and again and again, and she will not give up. She symbolizes that with prayer we will overcome and outlast any injustice. And the judge, it's kind of funny in the story, the judge has all this power, but he says to himself, he doesn't care for morality. He's not concerned with justice. He cares neither for God nor man. But he's kind of a coward because he says, I better give this little old lady her rights. Otherwise, and in the Greek it says, she's going to punch me in the eye. And I just love that because, little old ladies are so violent. But what it symbolizes is that if we're like the little old lady, a life of prayer means we will outlast injustice. We will overcome it. Our community can do that. So, yes, prayer makes you a little old lady. But that will not stop until we gain justice. Even though we have no power, our greater power is prayer. And, there's this story, I just love this story. During apartheid, Bishop Tutu was leading this resistance. And the blacks in South Africa were not allowed to gather together, except for church. So Bishop Tutu is at church. He's having this outdoor mass, and they're praying for peace, and the military show up, and they surround everybody with machine guns. And I love this, where Bishop Tutu laughs and says, Come join us in prayer. Come and join us in prayer. We've already won. You just don't know it. And I just love his audacity. He says, we are not going to give up. The next generation, we will constantly be demanding justice. You've lost and you don't know it. I like that idea that prayer means we will outlast any injustice, any illness. We have this stubborn hope that won't give up. That's why Jesus, in the Gospel of Luke, when he's talking about prayer, you want to start early in life and gain this momentum in a community that will never give up. Prayer makes us perseverant, more powerful than whatever the problems in life are. And unfortunately, I think like a lot of people think their power is their health or their wealth or their intelligence. Really, the older you get, that is all illusionary. I actually think like grandparents, they fulfill kind of this important role to the next generation, just how fragile life is. Because the older you get, you simply have more problems. The 92-year-old lady is right. Life is a series of one thing after another. And what grandparents can show with a life of prayer is, yeah, there's a lot of powerful problems out there, but we have something far more stubborn, and that's hope. We hope that our community becomes this unstoppable force of hope. All the problems in life really can bring us to our knees. And yet, together with a life of prayer, like the first reading, we've won the battle. We have become a people who will not give up no matter what. That's something to be thankful for. And so, together, let us stand and profess our faith.